Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, and want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. Those who are joining me on YouTube, those who are joining me on Facebook, those who are joining me on Instagram, and those joining me on TikTok for In Review. In Review, which is something which has been going on for so many years now. Prime hosts, welcome. Is it Prime Host or Prime Global? Are you the same? Prime Host and Prime Global, if anything like that. That was my TikTok speaking to there. It's a very good evening. It's a very good evening this evening. And I think one of the topic which I said that I'm going to touch on is Lucy Connolly being freed. Trump penalty being dropped. What is those penalties? And Russian intensify attack on Ukraine. Actually, somebody said I should have had some balloons behind me because I reached 10K followers on TikTok. It's now at 10,100 and it's going to grow. I believe it's going to be 20,000 by the end of September, if anything like that. So they said I should have had some orange, some gold balloon there as well. Thank you so much for joining as well. And for those on Facebook, I would say like and to share. Sorry, I didn't have the balloons. Like and share and tell everyone about it. And those on YouTube, like and share. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Well, I'm expecting Gary to come on tonight. And I want to spend some time also talking about the Jamaican elections to be and where it's at September the 3rd, because there's going to be lots of developments regarding the nomination is out now. There's also the whole issue as to the debate. There's going to be 3 debates. I got the information here as well. And young persons as well, and the recent polls by Don Anderson. Without further ado, let us get the ball rolling. Now, if you can tell me that you can hear me, if you can hear me very clearly, that would be fantastic. If you can tell me that you can hear fully and awesome, that would be fantastic. I don't understand what this is saying here about, something there. The President Zelensky was with Trump early this week. President Zelensky was with Trump, and President Zelensky was with I call it the minders. The minders, I would say, are the European posse that rolled into Washington. There was the French President Macron, there was the Finnish President, there was the Italian President Premier. Is it Premier? Yeah. There was Prime Minister Keir Starmer. There was the NATO General, Secretary General was there. And there was the German Chancellor. And the very interesting thing about it was that it was a very cordial meeting, unlike the last one. Would you say that? It was a cordial meeting, unlike the last one. That they were even running jokes. And Zelensky was even running joke with the guy who asked him the question about the jacket. It's a pity I don't have it. I should have queued it up. And the guy said, Trump said, hey, he's a guy that was actually giving you a hard time. It was being rude. Of course, they're all being rude to Zelensky at the same time. And the guy said, well, I'm sorry. And Zelensky said, yeah, but you're still wearing the same suit. I've changed my suit. And they all laugh. So it was really a good atmosphere. And I do believe that it is important for there to be conversation. It's very important for there to be talking. Many people will say that it was nothing really happened and it was, doom and gloom, and really and truly the one day that Trump said he was going to sort it out is that the day. And I said, many a times many people will say what they want after an election. I remember sometimes that some government comes into play. They say when you vote out the government, guess what you get in? You get the government in. That's right. Yeah. When you vote out the government, you get the government in. And when the government comes in, the new government comes in, what they tend to see is something maybe a bit different from what they foresaw. What they saw before, it is not what they envisage. So therefore, they have to change the game. And I believe that Trump somehow thought that he could have sorted it out, but that's not the case, and it didn't happen. So therefore, so what's going to happen now is they had that conversation, they had that meeting. It was cordial, and I think it's very important for there to be a conversation, for there to be chat, because for years none of them was talking. They were just cussing Putin, but Putin was, But now there's been some conversation, so we hope that things will happen and things will take a turn as much as possible. But the very interesting thing that I saw, and this is where it doesn't add up, it doesn't make sense. You're talking about peace. But at the same time, Russia launches the biggest wave of strikes on Ukraine. Russia launches the biggest wave of strikes on Ukraine. What do you think about that? Isn't that like a slap in the face at the same time? Russia has launched, they said, 574 drones and 40 missiles on Ukraine in one of the heaviest bombardment in weeks, Ukraine officials say. One person was killed in a drone, unalive in a drone, and missile strike on the western city of Lviv, while 15 others were reported wounded in an attack on the southwestern Transcarpathia region. And this attack came as U.S. President Donald Trump spearheaded diplomatic moves to halt the war. Ukraine foreign minister said the strikes highlighted why efforts to bring to an end were so critical. That's a slap in the face, I would say. That's a total slap in the face. Wouldn't we say that? For there to be the great talk of peace, the great talk of trying to cease fire, but then at the same time, this is happening. Yes, they were not nice to him in the White. Is it that they were not nice to him now, or they weren't nice to him then? They weren't nice to him then, but this time they were hypocrites. I don't know. I'm just saying that, really, whether it was, whether they meant it or not. But this whole war in Ukraine, this whole war which is unfolding, which is there before our very eyes, I believe that it's at the threshold of something. I believe that there could be a breakthrough. But when you see and you talk about breakthrough, you're seeing a slap in the face at the same time. Now, this is something which is so important. And this is something that Trump missed. Trump has realized, without a shadow of a doubt, that he has no sort of control over some of these countries. He has no control over leaders. He has no control over Putin. He has no control over Zelensky. He has no control over these nations. So I do wonder at the same time if there's going to be a situation where they're going to rub their hands and say, guys, you guys just sort it out. Just, in Jamaica days, they'll say, guys, let's find two rocks to. As a matter of fact, somebody said the other day that I don't think TikTok will pick it up, but they said we should get some rock stone and clot each other. Get some rock stones and go in the park and throw stones at each other, if anything like that, and maybe that would sort it out. Because what you're having is big men somehow can't seem to agree on something such important as peace, something so important as persons not being unalive, something such as important whereby people can live their life. I still want my orange juice to be dropped at a lower level. Since the whole Ukraine war, the orange juice price has shut up. And I always peed off by the fact that the price went up just as COVID finished, just as the war started. But then guess what? The doctor told me that's it. The orange juice has a lot of sugar in it as well, and it's not good for my pre-diabetic stage. So therefore, that's no problem. But what do you think about that? And I think that is so important. What do you think about this whole war? What do you think about this whole peace initiative? What do you think about them coming together and say we are going to try to cease fire. But the ceasefire seems not to be working, right? However, it may work one day soon, one day by and by soon. It may be. But for right now, it doesn't seem to be that's the case. Now, I want to move on to Lucy Connolly, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a picture which I have up there. I'm going to show the picture of Lucy Connolly. And this is a very interesting case. There she is, Lucy Connolly. Lucy Connolly freed. And the importance of this is the whole aspect of social media. Yeah, social media. Lucy Connolly, there's a woman jailed for race hate post release from prison. A woman, her, was jailed for stirring up racial hatred in the aftermath of the Southport attack. Has been released from prison. Lucy Connolly, 42, whose husband served as on Northampton Town Council, pleaded guilty in September after posting the expletive-ridden message on X, the day 3 girls were unalive in July 2024. If you can recall it for those in the UK. Connolly from Northampton called for mass deportation now. And she urged her followers on X to, I'm not going to say it, set FIRE to hotel housing asylum seekers. She was released from HMP Peterborough earlier after she was handed a 31-month prison sentence in October at Birmingham Crown Court. The contrast with this at the same time is that there was a Labour councillor who made the sort of, gesticulation or gesture, like one minister of government in Jamaica named Douglas Vaz. Sorry, not Douglas, but Douglas Vaz is the father. Darren Vaz is go like this, and he was released, or it was the big deal. But what they are saying is that her tweet could have greater implication as she urged her followers, to do that. And they said she would serve the remainder of her sentence on license under the supervision of the probation service. Connolly case really sparked debate, with some criticizing her sentence as being excessive. Speaking after release, Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch compared Connolly's treatment to that of those who took part in riots following the Southport attack. Her punishment was harsher than the sentences handed down for bricks thrown at police or actual rioting. Badenoch said on X. Protecting people from words should not be given greater weight in law than public safety. If the law does this, then the law itself is broken, and it's time Parliament looked again at the Public Order Act. So it is a very interesting debate at the same time. Lord Young Acton said, founder and director of Free Speech Union, said it was a national scandal that Connolly had spent more than a year in prison for a single tweet that she quickly deleted and apologized for. Connolly appealed what they said against her sentence made, then Court of Appeal heard news of the Southport murder unaliving and caused a resurgence of the anxiety caused by her son dead at the age of 19 and 14 years. Yeah. So the very interesting thing is that this has sparked some sort of debate now as to the essence of words. Words are very powerful. Words are very powerful. She served her time at HMP Portmore with a time remand. Due to the official conclusion, included her time on remand, Connolly's release case and subsequent failed appeal drew national attention. Yeah. Proportionality of sentence and the boundaries of online expression in the UK is what lots of persons are saying. This is something which is going to spark some debate. And I'm not going to go into it much further, but it's going to definitely spark some major debates up and down the country as to two-tier policing. two-tier policing. What they talk about, two care, right? They say Lucy's of incredible strength, strong character, and has helped. She will look in after her daughter now. She have had letters of support from Canada to Australia, so that has kept her going. Judge Melbourne even said Connolly's offense was a category A, meaning high culpability, and that both the prosecution and her own barrister agrees that she intended to incite serious violence. It's an intention. So therefore, one person taking up a brick, waboom, another person making a strong statement inciting what she had incited is a bit more grave and serious. They talk about incitement to racial hatred. They talk about incitement to violence. They talk about all these level of things there. So important. Yeah. And sentencing guideline for the offense indicated a starting point of 3 years custody. Michelle, how are you? Hadi, Naman Williams, welcome. Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, supported the sentencing during Prime Minister's Question Time in May, when he was asked whether Connolly's imprisonment was inefficient or fair use of prison. And why that is so is because they were trying to get spaces in prison. Of course, you know of the cases where lots of persons who were for serious offenses were released. He responded by saying, sentencing is a matter for our courts, and I celebrate the fact that we have independent courts in this country. He said, I'm strongly in favor of free speech. We have had free speech in this country for a very long time, and we protect it fiercely. But after COVID, many people question, is there really free speech in the UK? Even J.D. Vance question whether free speech is in the UK. Challenge, the Foreign Secretary, Mr. Lamb, challenge that there is no free speech. But he said, but I'm equally against incitement to violence against other people. I'll always support the action taken by our police and courts to keep our people safe. Right? So it's a very interesting development, very interesting conversation, and many people are going to be talking about this at some point. Greetings to you, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much. So true. Category A is high. Is high. Now, the big man. Many people will say, "Who is the big man? Who is the big daddy?" Guess what? Guess what? Trump. Oh, nobody want to see that picture, But let me show you this picture. You might not like this picture, which I'm going to show you now. This is one. This man is the only Jamaican I trust. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Somebody did it for me at the first election as well. This man is the only Jamaican I trust. I do that anytime that I want. To free up spaces on my Facebook, free up spaces on my Instagram. If I'm oversubscribed or so and I need to get some space, I just put that picture up and I lose some friends. Do you know that there's a very interesting thing which I found out today while walking in the park, and I've got to show this one because this is news as well. This is news. If you look around you in the UK, you'll see a lot of leaves on the ground. And I was wondering as to why there are leaves on the ground. And I was saying, oh my days, that means to say it is now summer. Sorry, summer is gone. We're now getting into autumn. That's what I was saying. And I was looking at it and said, why are there leaves on the ground? And then someone told me today, guess what they said? Anyone can answer that question? Why are there leaves on the ground now when we're still in summer? Why are there leaves on the ground? This is it. Are you ready? Who is ready to know why there are leaves on the ground? Well, I found out, and this is a secret. Andrew, how are you, buddy? I found out that why leaves are on the ground is that it is forced autumn. It's like a forced autumn because the leaves are being shed by the trees because the place is hot and they need more nutrients. And as a result of that, they got to shed leaves to survive. Now, I was told that, right? If I'm incorrect, you can correct me, if anything. Yeah. And so what is happening now is that leaves on the ground are just shedding their weight, shedding it, so therefore they can balance the nutrient so they can survive. So that means, this is what that means. Applying that to people, guess what? You need to shed some weight, man. Maybe you need to block some people sometimes. You still love them, but sometimes you need to block some people sometimes from your space. And when you block them, then and behold, you get some space and you may be able to strive. So that's it. Carrie, how are you? Welcome. Thanks. Welcome to In Review Thursday night. Like and subscribe, share. And I'm going to be coming over onto TikTok directly and specifically talking about some latest developments in Jamaica, which I've been seeing, which is very concerning as well. But anyway, the other thing, as I was saying before, and I stopped it shortly, but those who are anti-Trump or who are Trump fanatics, put your ears close or your ears away. Appeal court throws out Trump's 500 million civil fraud penalty. Yep. Appeal court has thrown out. Michelle, what you said? Yeah, my niece and son said it's cold today in New York, but were the leaves off the ground? Yeah. Were the leaves on the ground? Were the leaves off the ground? Yeah. Tell me. The leaves are off the ground? Were the leaves on the ground? Go and have a look and tell me if the leaves are on the ground. Yeah. Tell me if the leaves are the leaves on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, go and look and check it out if the leaves are on the ground. Right? But anyway, appeal court throws out Trump's 500 million civil fraud penalty. Right? Throw it out. Right? And the rationale behind it is this. An appeal court has thrown out $500 million, 372 pounds, penalty that President Donald Trump was ordered to pay in a New York civil fraud trial last year. Yeah. Judge has ordered Trump to pay the fee for massively inflating the value of the Trump organization properties in order to secure him. In the lengthy ruling released Thursday, judges on the New York Supreme Court Appellate Division stated that while Trump was liable for the fraud, the fine of nearly $500 million was excessive and likely violated constitutional protection against severe punishment. Yes? So in that case, the judge has ordered Trump to pay, but with that interest to go more than $500 million. Right? So in his post on social media, Trump claimed the decision was a total victory. Now, what do people say? What do people say when they see Trump and Putin gallivanting? What do you say when you see Trump and Putin gallivanting? What do you say when you see Trump in the White House and these having all the different European leaders there, and they are seeking to make a difference in Ukraine? Some say that Trump may even find the cure for cancer, but yet they won't give him credit because his name is Trump. Is that true, or is it a lie? Yeah. So there are many different factors there. You know, it's like in Jamaica. Some will say that Mark Golding will never be the prime minister, and then someone point them out and say, "Well, they said Trump will never be the president." And someone even point that out by saying, and they said that Barack Obama would never be the president. He's been president twice, Barack Obama. And of course, he said, as he said in the State of Union one time, I can whip you again if there was a possibility for him to be the third. Trump also has now serving 2 terms. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands up. If you want to be the prime minister, put your hands up. If you want to be the leader of any country, you also can do it. Nothing is impossible. right? And as that song says, nothing is impossible if you put your trust. Anything is impossible. Anything is possible. So I'm not going to get into the whole discussion in regards to the different hotels, which was uh injunction was made against couple hotels. Well, one hotel in Jamaica, because what you're having is that there were a lot of asylum seekers or persons from the boat that were going to house them in a couple or one particular hotel, and there was an injunction which was made against them to stop that from happening. And I realized and I sense that there's going to be more of that happening because there's a anti-immigration sentiment, and the anti-immigration sentiment is coming from the likes of people like the Reform. It's also coming from elements of the Conservative. It's also coming from elements of Labour, because what is happening now, they're realizing without a doubt that persons who are just popping into the country just like that are reaping some serious benefits, while persons who have been paying taxes for years, persons who are in the war, veterans, they're having it hard. Yep, housing is a difficulty, food is a difficulty, or so like that. So there's somewhat meaning to say an imbalance, but I strongly believe that there need to be care for persons as much as possible. um, you know, somebody say Trump is nothing than a puppet on a string. So the question I'm going to ask is this: Who is the string? Who is the puppet master? Anyone can say, who is the puppet master? Who is the puppet master that have Trump on a string? Is it somebody with the name of P or so? Is it someone with the name of B or so? Who? Well, that is something which is going to unfold, maybe not this life, but maybe in many life from now. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you those on Instagram, those on Facebook, and those on YouTube. This is Thursday night where we look at some of the top news. What would you say is your top news? And I always say, what's your top news? And mark your top news and say what's your top news. T-True, thank you so much for joining. Punton, thank you for joining. Those on TikTok, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. There's some decent developments going on in Jamaica. Yeah. And well, first of all, the nomination, let me see if I can find this here. Nomination was the 18th. Yep. Nomination day was the 18th. And as a result of nomination day, you now have the set constituents, the set persons who are now going to vie for political position. They're going to either be commiseration or they're going to be success and victory. Let me just find something here. What I find okay, P, yes. What I find very interesting about this election, in Saturday night I had a couple of young people on the show. And a couple of young people on the show was really good. And I believe that I need to maintain the momentum by having another set of young people on the show this Sunday night, because according to one of the recent report in Jamaica, what they're saying is that there's an apathy when it comes on to the young people. I saw something which was sent to me to say that half of Jamaicans are going to vote. I wonder where they get the half of Jamaican from. Is that the half which is coming from the voters list, or is it the half which is coming from the nation on a whole? If anything, what do you say? Right? And also they say that there's a level of voters apathy. Now, if I show this in the screen here, cancel that. I show this. And this is like a breakdown of the, it's like a breakdown. They said the Jamaica Labour Party, hi Mark Thomas, how are you? The Jamaica Labour Party nominated 63 persons. The People's National Party nominated 63 persons as well, prospective parliamentary candidates. The Jamaica Progressive Party, JPP, Never really heard about it that much, really. The Jamaica Progressive Party nominated 47 persons, and the UIC, United Independent Congress, nominated seven, and independents 9. So there are 9 independents out there. But what is really, I'm disappointed in a way that the UIC only fielded 7 persons. Only 7 they fielded. Jamaica Progressive Party fielded 47. Now they are coming up to very soon. There's going to be a debate, and the debating commission has set this debate. The first one is going to be on the 23rd. It's going to be this Saturday. In the UK, it's going to be at 4 p.m. It's going to be at 3 a.m. in the morning on the 24th, right? So therefore, who is going to stay up that night? I'm going to stay up that night. I'm actually going to have a watch party, if anything. Going to try to link and go on my platform and watch it as well. It's supposed to be interesting. So I don't know how long I'm going to be on my show on Saturday night. But if I show this here as well, they said it's the general election debates. The first one is going to be on the 2025 and the 23rd, the 26th, and the 28th. The 23rd, 26th, and the 28th is going to be the debates. When I interviewed UIC, they were to talk about wanting to be a part of the debate. And I think that there should be an opportunity for these independent groups to be in the debate. I think if there's going to be uh, out of the independent or the United Independence Congress or Jamaica Progressive Party, the Jamaica Progressive Party should be the one who is going to be on the center stage with the Prime Minister and leader of the opposition. But nobody has heard about the Jamaica Progressive Party. I've never heard of them really. But I think there should be, if not, there should be a fourth debate with these independents. What do you say? A fourth debate with these independents to hear what they have to say. When Nick Clegg joined the debate with Gordon Brown and David Cameron, what made the difference was that the people of the UK were finally and was able to hear another perspective. They said there's a voter apathy, and there's people who are saying they're not going to vote. I think the latest polls came out. What the polls? I don't know where it is. The polls came out to say that there was 17% not interested, and a certain amount of persons undecided, and blah blah blah. So there's this untapped section of the populace which actually need to be engaged in the political process. And I believe that this next section, this next set of persons are going to be looking at the manifestos. What do you think? It is unfortunate that the manifestos so far for the Labour Party is not out. But of course, there's a achievement booklet which is out. So one will have to, do you look at the achievements of what has been done, or a manifesto that sets out a plan for the future? The PNP has set out a plan for the future. They say part of it because there is the fear or the issue of, not wanting to give everything too much because they say the other side is going to thief it. Right? Roger Moore, good afternoon. Precious Soul, good afternoon. Thomas JNT, good afternoon. Please like and share this on TikTok, and please, please follow the host, follow each other as well, much as possible. Instagram likewise, Facebook likewise, YouTube likewise, like and share. So this very crucial period of time in Jamaica, and that's why I'm giving some time to this. It's very crucial time in Jamaica for persons to go to the polls. Very crucial time where I believe and I hoping that there'll be a 60% turnout of persons on the electoral list. Am I pipe dreaming? Is it possible? I believe so. I believe that as we keep harping the message of getting involved, engaging in the political process, then I think there's a difference. I think something is going to happen. As to who win, for me, that's not going to be the issue. The issue is people getting out there and to be a part of the process. As a matter of fact, I'm really tempted to do what I said today earlier. I said I do like some of the songs which they have been playing, and some of the songs which they have been playing, like on a different side. I might actually play um, a Labour version side and a PNP version side. Somebody actually took offense when I post the PNP version. They didn't realize that there was a JLP version, which I posted on my page to say there's a PNP version, there's a JLP version songs. And I would say to you guys, go and listen to them because they're very humorous and very interesting as well, and very creative. I must say, Jamaicans, we are very creative, and we have gone very far. We have moved far, 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 far from what it was before when it had elections, because elections generated unaliving, fighting, warring. You know, not just talking about tearing down posters is the least in comparison to what it was before. So it is hoped that there will be a good turnout of persons. It is hoped that the manifesto of the Teen Caribbean, it's hoped that the manifesto of the Labour Party will come out soon. Cool Love says PNP win, win, win. I'm sure a Labour Party will come out and say Labour Party win, win, win. I think the poll by the Donaldson poll is showing things that neck and neck. And they're saying there's an apathy. But I'm going to be having some more young people on this Saturday night. Another thing which I find very interesting, somebody sent me this, and I'm going to post this. I find this very interesting, and my message to any political parties, I'll say what my message is. There's a very interesting letter which came out today, and the letter said, if I can, yeah, the letter said, let me see, full screen layout. The Labour Party is concerned, right? He said, the Labour Party is concerned by comments made by a group of diaspora members. Am I in the diaspora? Is my name on it? About the governing party. We realize that the People's National Party has recruited these people to speak negatively of government members and to spread propaganda. Yep. We in the Labour Party ask that these persons refrain and stop from spreading false news and fake information to the public on their respective social media platforms. Is my name on it? We as a party are in support of fairness, and we are open to constructive criticisms. And when these criticisms are not true, it causes a threat to the true media and war for the truth. Is that a good term? War for the truth. We in the party are asking these people to stop. We encourage them to speak freely, but by fair, and use your platform to spread the truth. Your platforms would have been reported for many breaches to community guidelines. Noreen Hunt said, I think it's crucial that the people are set in their ways. I hope the people go out and vote. Listed below are the following persons: Jeffrey Tavares, Wayne Lonesome, Wilfred Rattigan, and also Anissa Bell Rose. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow. I much appreciate that. Let's take it to 20,000. Why not? Let's go for it big time. My only message when I saw that post, and when somebody sent it to me, I said, what really PNP and JLP should be doing at this time is perfecting their message to the people of Jamaica. perfecting their manifesto to the people of Jamaica. Instead of trying to take down individuals from trying to talk. Mouth make for chat, and man will talk as much as they want. Yeah? Mouth make for chat, and man will talk as much as they want. But what I would say is, instead of trying to shut people down or telling them how to speak, use that energy, JLP, PNP, whichever one, and amplify your message. Amplify your message and go into the cooks and the cookie and the cranny of Jamaica and let people know what your message is. And why you should do that as well. Every single parliamentary candidate, male or female, this is my message to you. Go to every crook and cranny of the nation, knock on the doors of people, and then people, what you should do when they knock on your door is what you should do. Ask them this question: are you being investigated for illicit enrichment? Are you being investigated for illicit enrichment? Are you being investigated for illicit enrichment? I said it the other day and someone took offense to it. And someone said, why are you saying that? Who is paying you? And I'm saying, I didn't say PNP or GLP. I said, just ask your prospective parliamentary candidate. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you this now, there are no MPs in Jamaica. Parliament is dissolved. So there's no members of parliament in Jamaica. None. Zilch. Not even the prime minister is an MP. He's now a candidate. He's an executive. The cabinet is an executive that running the country, but there are no members of parliament. So I don't think you should be even saying the honorable person or whatever like that, unless you're a minister. And you can't, MP, you don't say they're MPs. They are parliamentary candidates. And therefore, for young people, for elderly people, for anyone, everyone who is going to be seeking to vote, ask your member of parliament, your prospective member of parliament, this question: are you one of the persons being investigated for illicit enrichment? And when you do so, look at them in the eye. And if they say yes or no, you mark it. And then when the IC commission comes out and say who they are eventually or whatever, like, because they say they know. Because once the investigation is going on, they will know. And to see who are lie or tell truth. I think that is so very important. I think that there should be a check on balances when persons putting themselves forward to run. I think that there should be some sort of code of ethics, some group or so that oversee them, that check them out, as well. Ethics within the PNP, ethics within the JLP, ethics. Because people, I believe, are looking for a new order. They're looking for a new day. Let me show you something else, which is very interesting as to how the politics is getting a bit dirty over there, dirty in a certain sense. What I also saw, which I also got, was this. Renowned recording artist Wayne Lonesome is reportedly being investigated for illegal drug smuggling. Listen, renowned recording artist Wayne is reportedly, who reported that? Being investigated for illegal drug smuggling. So you see what is happening. They're trying to silence the different voices. Why wasn't that before? He goes further as well. That the Gleaner had to come out and to say, the Gleaner Company Media Limited notes that there are false TikTok posts in circulation We urge individuals creating and using these posts to immediately desist. So we don't know if that which was shown by the Gleaner was fake. Because what they say, we apologize to Mr. Jeffrey Tavares, Wayne Lonesome, and other respective persons included. We will conduct a thorough investigation in this matter and involve the cybersecurity unit to extensively probe this case. See it again? Gleaner. That's a local, renowned recording artist, because people can just create things just like that for their agenda, creating things. So apparently, true, not Nagoso. There's somebody behind these things. And the Gleaner has come out and apologized this on the behalf. We apologize to Mr. Tavares, Wayne Donson, and other respective persons, because apparently things are going around. Now, in comparison to many years ago, in comparison to many years ago, when it come on to elections, whereby you would have lots of unaliving and all those sort of things going on, then you can understand that things have moved on much better than what it was before. Someone said someone is a person. It's over on TikTok. You can go and read it over TikTok. They say Vegas is a person. But as far as I'm concerned, the most important thing at this time, and you can agree with me or disagree with me, ladies and gentlemen, is the amplification of the message, the amplification of the manifesto of the Jamaica Labour Party, the amplification of the manifesto of the People's National Party, the amplification of the manifesto of the Jamaica Progressive Party, which is it what is it? The Jamaica Progressive Party. Yeah. Let me find that back again. As I said, there's a fourth party which is in the frame. Fourth party. Let me say fourth party. Fourth party. Jamaica Progressive Party, JPP. And the Independence 9, UIC 7. All right. The amplification of the message of the JPP, the amplification of the message of the UIC, the amplification of the message of the independence. Now, I wonder if anything, if I might get the opportunity to have someone from the JPP to come on and to talk what about. I'm very interested to find out if there is a voice from someone from the independents, anyone from the independents to come on and speak, or anyone from the UIC to come out and to speak. Thank you so much. Thank you so much on TikTok. Sorry, I shouldn't say Toktik, And I'm going to be going over there in a few minutes. But let me, Mr. Graham is here. He's here to give a verdict on as to what's happening. What's happening in Jamaica, Gary? Are you in Jamaica?
Not really, my friend. I wish I was, but I'm not. I'm not there at all. I don't know what's going on out there. I do see little clips every now and again that comes on Facebook, about what's happening out there, and I think it may just get out of hand at some stage.
But
the rivalry.
But you just said not really. What does not really mean? Not really mean to say you are there or halfway there? Or
No, I'm not there. I'm not halfway there. I'm not hanging over the Atlantic Ocean there. So
now, somebody said how many other parties are there in Jamaica? Well, based on what we saw there was four parties, Gary, four parties who are being nominated now. There has been the UIC. The UIC is now seven persons they nominated, and the thank you so much for joining. Thank you, and also there's a new party called the Jamaica Progressive Party is being nominated. Also, I think I saw something with Al Miller, the one who was escorting Dudus. Remember?
Okay. Yeah.
I think he's forming a party as well. So that's it. Yeah, Al Miller. Yeah, somebody says Sparky. Yeah, Al Miller is forming a party as well. Maybe I should get him to come on the show and say what is his vision for Jamaica. But it is heating up, Gary. It is heating up.
It is.
Yes.
It always heats up.
Mm.
You know that. I mean, there's no general election in Jamaica that does not get things going, or it just does not heat. There's no fire.
But the most interesting thing though is the fact that Jamaica's moved. You are freezing up. Somebody say I'm freezing up. Jamaica has moved very far when it comes on to crime around this particular period for elections. I've seen whereby people are somewhat dancing together. I posted on my video the other day a PNP song and GLP song, and they're nice, Gary. I like listening to them. You ever listen to the PNP? have you listened to any of these songs?
I've listened to one and two of them. Really, I don't know. I don't know if you've been looking at the various clips about. I think there was a JLP driver that was driving through a particular area with the supporters, PNP, with the PNP supporters.
Yes.
And this driver was was making fun of how ugly the PNP supporters are.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
Well, without PNP people shutting me down, let me play this version because I like this one. I like this one. I like this track here. It's very it's very interesting. Listen to this one. Ready?
Choose Jamaica, vote for Labour Party. We're doing good for you. Singing JLP for hours, ringing in the showers of blessing we are called on. Palico jam down, X beside the bell loud. We're doing more for you. We're reducing.
All right. That's the JLP one. I can just imagine some people nose gone up in the air, and I get few Michelle say welcome, Gary.
Hi, Michelle.
And if I look for the JLP version, the PNP version, and this one is bad. Let me see, what's this? I reach an hour yet on TikTok. This one is really bad. This one, I think this one is ready. You ready for one? Ready for what Laborites say? Blood on fire. Here's one now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And Gary, did I play that too long?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure that I balance it.
Yeah, you give me good balance.
I gave a good balance there. Okay, I gave a good balance there. But the interesting thing, Sparky said because it's nice. The interesting thing though, I'm going to be doing some this Sunday night. No, actually, it's going to be Sunday morning. There's going to be debates. Debate is going to start in Jamaica. There's 3 sets of debate. 23rd. There's going to be 23rd, 26th, and 28th debates, and I'm going to do a watch party watch night. Watch with the debate. That's Saturday night, but that is Sunday morning UK time, 3 o'clock Sunday morning UK time. So um now and so sort of watch it with a few people from the UK as well, and comment on it. Uh, the unfortunate thing is that I don't think I'm not seeing the finance minister is missing. I'm not seeing a date. I'm not seeing a date which is set for like these independent parties. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a date which is set for these independent parties. I'm not seeing a date which is set for like the that new party to be debating. So that is going to be a very interesting one, and lots of decisions are made during debates. We remember in the UK when you had Nick Clegg, David Cameron, and Gordon Brown. That swung it for Nick Clegg, isn't it? And that swung it to whereby both of them said they agreed with Nick. I agree with Nick. I agree with Nick.
Right.
And then that is what made the decision for there to be a coalition.
Right.
It would be very interesting if there is a coalition in Jamaica or something of that nature whereby somebody become the kingmaker as well. So that's the thing. It's going to happen. And I'm looking forward to it. I want to be as much as possible being a part of this whole election process as well, Gary.
Yes. Yeah.
So I before you came in wrapping up, I did touch on the fact that after the meeting with Zelensky and Trump, they ran some joke to say that Trump pointed to a guy and said, "He's a guy who were messing with you and saying that you didn't wear any clothes, any jacket." And Zelensky turned around and said, "Yes, I remember him." And the guy said, "I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry." And Zelensky said, "Yeah, but you're still wearing the same jacket. You're still wearing the
same." Yeah.
So it was very cordial. It was very cordial. But guess what? Putin has just bombed up the place again. The most, a lot of, bombing up just happened a while ago over there.
Well, it's war and conflict, really, in sadly in the minds of our leaders, even though there may be talk of peace, even though there may be talk of a truce, but they will always do maximum. They will always do maximum damage in the meantime. Sadly,
yes.
that's what war does.
Yes.
And even though Trump may say, well,
one day,
and Zelensky will one day meet together, and hopefully there's going to be a meeting of the two men. Putin is not going to stop. He's not going to stop doing what he has in mind. I mean, I do believe that Zelensky, he wants to very much, yes, have peace. I believe he wants peace. But in as much as he wants the peace, that's why he's asked for U.S. guarantees, because he's not sure that Putin will ever stick to any peace treaty that is made. And if the U.S., Trump has already indicated that they're willing to bring security to Ukraine.
Yes.
Boots on the ground, from what I've heard, will not happen. But what the U.S. wants to do is bring security, at least to the skies, over Ukraine. Now, once that has been signed off, that's little short to than what Ukraine wants in regards to joining NATO. Now, if America signs to the agreement of being the security for Ukraine,
yes,
does that mean that if Russia bombs Ukraine, that it will not bring the US in? Who is to say? We just don't know what the finer details are going to be.
Yes.
You know? But up until that time, I think we have to understand that Ukraine is going to continue bombing Ukraine. It's just going to
I mean, Russia is going to continue.
Yeah, Russia is just going to continue to bomb Ukraine. I think we have to come to that realization, really.
Yes, yes. Well, Gary, are you on TikTok yet?
Is that one of the questions that you're always going to ask me at the end of every show if I'm not on TikTok? Or
yeah, because I got lots of people. I got lots of people ready to follow you. I got Ann Butler ready to follow you. I've got Nestor Thompson ready to follow. Everybody's ready to follow you. I've got Bellin ready to follow you. I've got Michelle ready. Everybody's ready to follow you. But you just have to show yourself over there.
Have you got that? Have you got that on paper? Is that
see what and said indeed, and just said indeed. Bellin, say Michelle and Bellin, you can write it as well. Say yes, we'll follow you, so you can get at least 3 more.
Is Zelensky and Trump in the undergrowth of your followers there? Have they promised?
Oh yes, they're all a part of the whole process, you know. Zelensky and Trump as well, you know what I mean? You know, and I keep telling people all the while that that's what Trump said. I'm the only Jamaican that he trusts.
I like that.
You know what I mean? As well. So no, I reached 10K. I reached 10K followers on TikTok. So it's an achievement, I must say, because they go to a next level in TikTok there. So actually it's at 10.1 now, 10,100. So it is growing as well. And I hope it to be 20,000 by the end of September, with your help, of course.
Congratulations, my friend. Yeah. Congratulations on that.
And your hundreds as well, because I believe that you know it is we've got to use the platforms that we have, just like how you use the pulpit, just like how people use different ways how they can communicate. Because you see, like those 2 songs which I played earlier, I posted them on my page. And I said, I wonder this. I posted on my Facebook page, Gary, because I tried to just having fun out of everything and just enjoy it. And I said, this is what I said. I said, to a certain extent, are there any sort of reviews of these songs by the PNP and the JLP? Are there any reviews? And I said, this is my favorite PNP one, and this is my favorite JLP one. And then waboom. Somebody commented on the PNP one and said, Silbert, I know you're a comrade. You want to mash up the country. You can no one follow me. I'm not going to follow you anymore. So I said, I guess you did not see the other one, which I posted of the JLP one. And they didn't see that, whatever the reason. And I just made a decision right there to say, I think it is good for me to part company with such persons and just say, let me just, because I said this earlier, Gary, and I said it today, and I leave on this note here, because when I'm walking in the park, I learn a lot of things. And I don't know if you saw or if you have been seeing leaves on the ground. This is so profound to me. That's why I keep saying it all. I said it earlier. Have you seen leaves on the ground?
Not really.
Right. Well, there are some leaves which have been going on the ground. I walk in the park, so I see it a lot. Leaves been on the ground, and I keep saying to myself, why are there leaves on the ground? And we are still in summer. Is it like autumn in front of us? And so, oh my days. Then a guy said to me, Silver, you know what is happening? Due to the heat wave and the heat which has been around and places has been parched, trees are forced autumn. They call it forced autumn. So what they have done, they have shed leaves in order to reduce the level of nutrients that they need to fuel that tree. So what is happening now? It's a balancing act of survival. And I said, wow. And so it pointed to me as well that the trees are wanting to travel light, not carrying a baggage. So therefore, as well, people will have to choose to also travel light. So therefore, if at times you find persons around you, and mark you, people are good and people are nice, but if people are somewhat pulling you down, sometimes you got to go your separate ways. Never go your separate ways. So I learned that today about the leaves, which was very interesting. And I've done a video. I haven't put it out yet because I sort of want to edit it because I got a message in it as well. So let's hope that it goes viral on TikTok, if anything. Yeah. So you're gonna come on Saturday night, if anything, Gary. Sunday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning. I won't promise you because I have Sunday service to do. So
I know I have Sunday service. I've got service as well, but what I'm gonna do is have a 1 hour show on my Saturday night. Have some youths, have it for 1 hour, and then go to sleep. And then hopefully I can wake up back 3, and I'm going to set it so I can do the watch, all being well, so people can tune into the Silburn platform as well and watch it as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you can pop over TikTok. We're looking for you for TikTok, so people want to follow you.
I won't promise you. I won't
promise it. All right.
I'll try and sort something. I mean, I do have an account, but I
yes.
I mean, if they look for me, it's
Preacher Man.
You remember?
Is that Preacher Man?
Yeah, Preacher Man. It's got some numbers attached, isn't it? You'll be able to give the numbers out. Just put it out on your TikTok there. Just put it out on your TikTok.
Yeah, Preacher 25800. Preacher 25800. Look for that. Preacher 25800. Follow Gary. Yeah. So there's 1 following now. I can't believe it was 1 following. I was joking when I said there was 3. There's 1 following. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna share. Your thing as well. Yeah. So follow Preacher at 25800. Yeah. Preacher at 25800. And the book Griffin. Thank you so much. Yeah. Gary, we talk. Have a good night. Hold on. Let me see what's somebody say here.
All right.
Somebody say, sometimes I watch Pastor Gary on YouTube. There you are. Somebody said they watch you on YouTube. Yeah, you got Noreen Hunt.
Oh, yeah. That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
That's great.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Okay. All right, Gary.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
All right, we talk then, yeah? Okay.
All right then, sir. God bless you. Take care. Sorry for being late.
Bless you. Yeah. Cheers.